talk about is some tips and tricks for you guys that I've been using to find SEO traffic for my clients. Before I get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to Term Explorer and the guys at Term Explorer. I use them in this webinar for keyword scraping and then keyword analysis. They're great guys, and actually they helped me out with a lot of these tricks and gave me the idea for this webinar about 2 weeks ago. So big props to them. You guys should definitely check them out. So let's get started. Tricks to find SEO traffic. This is how I hack around SEO software to find new traffic. So what am I going to do today is two different things. One, I'm going to show you guys some tricks that I use to find new search traffic for existing sites. So if you guys have existing sites, this is a great way for you guys to find new traffic sources so you can, continue to expand upon and build those sites. Because if you already have a successful existing site, a lot of times it's easier to get more traffic for that site than to start over from scratch on like another EMD, for example. And then the latter part of this webinar, I'm going to go over some tips that I've been recently using to find new niches to build websites for, so kind of EMD, MFA style sites, although you could use it for a variety of purposes. So here are the tools that I'm going to be using in this webinar. Term Explorer, so I use these guys for keyword research and competition analysis. I'm going to be using MicroSite Masters for rank tracking, and then Ahrefs. They do link analysis, but in this webinar I'm just going to be using them for keyword spying. Okay, so my first trick is, and this section is finding new SEO traffic for existing sites. So this is using a keyword scraper. So basically what I do is I use Term Explorer and I scrape closely related terms to the root term of my website. So whatever the broadest way to describe my website is, I'll input that keyword into Term Explorer and check so that I only scrape closely related terms. I'll scrape these terms and then I filter these results and then I run them through Term Explorer's competition analysis. So what this does is it often will give me a list of keywords that I didn't even know people were searching for in my niche. One of my buddies, Andrew, just the other day, he's working on a bunch of different sites. He ran them through Term Explorer and was able to find a lot of different keywords that he didn't even know people were searching for in that niche. Afterwards, what I like to do is, now that I have this list of keywords that I didn't even know people were searching for in my niche, I'll actually run them through a rank tracker and see if my site's already ranking for these terms. Because if my site's already ranking for these terms, let's say I'm ranking on the 3rd page, well, that knowledge is huge, because if I'm already ranking 30, it's going to be a lot easier to take that to the 1st page. And if you think about it, I wouldn't even know that keyword had any traffic, because if I'm on page 3, I'm not going to be getting any traffic for that term. So this is what I do for trick 1, and I'm going to give you guys some actual live examples. So let me Google office supplies. So in this example, I'm going to be pretending that I represent an office supply store, Avery.com. So what I did was I went to this bulk keyword tool inside Term Explorer, and I entered a job name, office supplies, and then I entered the keyword office supplies. Avery is in the office supply niche. I clicked only show related. Basically, this is only going to give me keywords that are related to office supplies. It's not going to go broad. It's going to keep it pretty narrow. I submitted the job, and then this was the results that I actually got. Right here. It should be loading up. So I have a big list of keywords related to office supplies. So I got how many searches they were getting, the average cost per click, all of that stuff. So I narrowed this list down using these filters. I filtered out, I think, searches below 1,000, because we want to go after terms that are going to generate us some traffic. And then I also filtered out terms below, I think, a $1 CPC, because once again, we don't want to go after worthless info traffic. So I filtered down the list and then ran it through the keyword analyzer, and I got this list right here. Let's see. TE office supplies. Yeah, so I ran it through, one sec. So I ran it through the bulk keyword tool right here. I got this list of office supplies. I filtered out searches below 1,000 and CPC below $1. Then what I did is I took that list of keywords that I had and I plugged them into MicroSite Masters. So over here on MicroSite Masters, I created a project for Avery, pretending once again that Avery is a client that I'm representing. And I'm trying to find new traffic sources for these guys. So I submitted 97 keywords to MicroSite Masters. You can see, bush office furniture, business stationery, bookcases, cheap office supplies. These are all terms related to office supplies. So I entered all these terms and I let MicroSite Masters take its time and scrape all of these results. Basically what I'm doing right here is I'm going to see, hey, is Avery.com already ranking for some of these terms? Because if they are, then it's a lot easier to optimize for this traffic. So what I did was I sorted by Google rankings. And page 2, page 1, 125. So I sorted for different, I sorted by Google ranking. And so here we go. We have office products. Avery's ranking number 12 for that. Office supplies online. Avery's ranking 32 for that. And office supply stores. Avery's ranking 41 for that. So basically what I did was I used Term Explorer to find a bunch of keywords that Avery and myself probably didn't even know we were ranking for. And then what I did was I took these terms right here, just a couple of these terms that I thought I could realistically rank for, and I plugged them back into Term Explorer, and I got a list of, is this it? Desk accessories, office supplies online. And so I got I got a list of the difficulty, so like how hard these terms were ranked for. So office supplies online is difficult, office supply stores is difficult, business supplies is difficult, but desk accessories is only a difficulty about 5.5. So what I would do in this situation is now I could go to Avery and say, hey, we're already ranking for this term desk accessories. Let's optimize our site more for this term, and that's an easy way for us to make a quick traffic win. Now, I can also go back to the original list of office supplies and look through these and find different terms that maybe we aren't even ranking for. And I would already ideally know what Avery is and isn't ranking for. I would look through these terms, find out some terms we weren't already ranking for, and add those to keywords to go after as well. But this was just a quick little trick for us to find some things that we were already ranking for but probably didn't know about because we were too far back on page 2, 3, or 4. Here's another example. So the other day I found out that there's a big market for ellipticals, those machines that you see in the gym if you guys go to the gym. So I found this website called Elliptical Machine Reviews. You'll see it right here, ellipticalmachinereviews.net. So in this instance, I'm just going to pretend that, once again, I'm representing this company, ellipticalmachinereviews.net. So what I did was I went to the bulk keyword tool, and I scraped for elliptical related terms. And once again, I only sorted for closely related terms because I don't want random non-related terms. Once again, I'm only trying to find new traffic sources for elliptical. So I got this huge list of a bunch of different terms related to elliptical. Once again, I filtered out local searches, I filtered out by CPC, and I got a nice list to throw into MicroSite Masters right here. I had 49 keywords. So I threw 49 keywords elliptical to see, hey, is elliptical machine reviews, is it ranking for any of these terms yet? And two of the terms, elliptical machine reviews, we already know we're ranking for that. That's our exact match domain. But we actually found two terms right here, NordiTrack ACT elliptical and Schwinn 431 elliptical. These are two terms that Google's already picking up for our website. We're already ranking. So this URL, ellipticalmachinereviews.net/NordicTrack ACT Commercial Pro elliptical review. We're ranking 36 for that term, and we're ranking 99th for another term as well. Now, we probably wouldn't even know we were ranking for these terms because we're so far back on the list that we're not going to get any traffic for them. But by plugging these into MicroSite Masters, we're going to try now to optimize for this NordicTrack term, and it's going to be a lot easier because Google's already naturally ranking us 36 for it. So if we focus on optimizing for it, we should be able to get up to the first page. And then once again, I just wanted to see how competitive these terms are because we don't want to go after really, really competitive we can't rank for. And so I threw them in the Term Export's keyword analyzer, and let's search Nordic. So we have right here NordicTrack ACT elliptical, and the difficulty is 4.08. So that's a really easy, simple term for us to go for and try to optimize. Let me flip back really quick. Yeah, so basically what Kate is saying, if you're too far back, you'll never know that you're actually ranking for a term, right? And how you normally kind of use a rank tracker is you plug in all of the terms that you're actively trying to rank for. But just how Google works, there's a bunch of terms that you probably don't know that you're ranking 30th for or 40th for. And by using Term Explorer, you can scrape just a huge list of potential keywords for the niche, plug in the attractive ones, you know, the ones that have more than 1,000 searches a month, and the ones that have more than $1 cost per click. And you plug those into MicroSite Masters or your rank tracker of choice and see if you're already ranking for some of these terms, because it's a lot quicker win than going after terms that you're not ranking for yet. So that was trick one, which was keyword scraping. Let me jump to that in the presentation. And trick two, I think you guys will really, really like. So this is actually something that I've been doing for a while with my clients. And once again, this goes along the lines of the same concept that I created trick one for. And it's if you have an existing website, right? Like, how do you know what other keywords are out there in that niche, right? I mean, the keywords that you know are the ones that you're probably already trying to rank for. But how do you know what else is happening in your niche? And so one thing I like to do actually is spy on my competitors in a niche and figure out what they're ranking for. And if I can figure out what they're ranking for, then there's a good chance that I am already decently ranking for some of those terms, or at least I have a list of terms that I should be going after. So in trick number two, what I do is I use Ahrefs and I keyword spy on my competitors using the organic search tool, which I love. I take that list and then I run that list through competition analysis. Now, all of these other things are optional. You can just keyword spy with Ahrefs, take that list and do what you want with it. But this is a quick trick I use. So I'll take that list, I'll run it through Term Explorer's competition analysis so that I can find those low competition terms. Because I want quick wins. I want to go to my client, or if it's my website, I want quick wins first. I can go after the more competitive terms later. But if there's quick wins on the table, I want to take those down first. So I grab the stuff from Ahrefs, I plug it into the competition analysis tool, I figure out the really low competition terms, and then I plug those once again into my rank tracker and see if I'm already ranking for some of these terms. So in this case, I decided to pretend that I'm representing a client in the penny stock niche. So what I did is I searched penny stocks, and I pretended that I was representing, or I owned, drpennystock.com. So he's ranking 7th here, but I visited the page. Google may be displaying it higher. I think I actually may have found him on the 2nd page. Not sure though. So I'm pretending that I'm representing Dr. Penny Stock. So obviously, if I search the broad term, penny stock, I'm going to find competition. So the number one term, other than Wikipedia, the number one site that's ranking is thehotpennystocks.com. So what I did, as I said, okay, so you guys are winning at the penny stock game. Let's see what you're doing. So I grabbed their URL, and I plugged it into Ahrefs. Now, Ahrefs has this really cool tool over here called organic keywords. Basically, Ahrefs, it does a bunch of link analysis, but it also scrapes SERPs for all of the websites that it's scraping. Sometimes on really, really narrow niches, you're not going to get much in organic keywords. If that's the case, try to look at the broader websites in a bigger niche that maybe you're a micro niche inside of. So I went to organic keywords, and I got a huge, huge list of 57 pages worth. So 100 times 57 is 5,700 keywords that these guys are ranking for. Now, a lot of these times they're ranking for, penny stocks multiple times. So in reality, I probably got 1,000 good keywords or a couple hundred good keywords that these guys were ranking for. And it's great because all I had to do was plug it into Ahrefs, and now I have a list of everything these guys are ranking for. I don't have to guess. I don't have to go by page through their site and manually check all of this. I have a list of what they're ranking for. So what I did is I downloaded this list and I put it into a CSV file. Microsoft Office actually has a deduplicator in Tools under Data. It allows you to remove duplicates. So I removed all the duplicates so I didn't have 5 penny stocks and all of that. And then I sorted by volume just to get rid of all of the terms that only get like 20 searches a month. So I ended up with a list of, let's see. I ended up with a list of, I think 60 or 70 terms. And what I did was, once again, I went to MicroSite Masters. And I plugged in, I ended up getting 90 keywords. So I plugged in 95 keywords for the website Dr. Penny Stock. So once again, I didn't steal, I guess you could say steal, but I found out what our competitors were ranking for. I took the list of everything our competitors were ranking for, and I plugged it into MicroSite Masters, but under our domain name, drpennystocks.com, to once again see what we're ranking for. And so I sorted by Google, and I get this great list of all of the terms that we're already ranking for. Now, once again, if we're ranking top 10 for something, we're probably very aware of it, right? But I get stuff like good penny stocks, we're ranking 13th here, the hot penny stock, list penny stocks, penny stocks to buy, we're ranking 16th. We're probably not getting very much traffic right there, but this gets 3,600 searches a month. And we have even more stuff over here. So for example, we're ranking 33rd for penny stock picks, and we're ranking 41st for penny stock pick. We're probably not aware that we're ranking for those terms if we're that far back in the SERP. So this is a great find that we're already ranking for penny stock picks. Another one would be, penny stocks to buy. The traffic's a little low there, but still that's a decent one to go after. And then buy penny stocks, we're pretty far back. So once again, I plugged this into the keyword analyzer. I just wanted to see how competitive some of these terms are. So this is already down here. And so right here I see good penny stocks. The difficulty is pretty low. Penny stocks to buy, the difficulty is 5.77. So by doing this quick little process, not only did I get a huge list of keywords I should be going after because my competitor's going after them, and you guys could do something as simple as downloading a list of keywords that you rank for from Google Analytics or Get Clicky, and then just cross-referencing them with their stuff to find the keywords that you're not ranking for at all. That's another approach. But here we go. I have 2 great terms to go after, good penny stocks and penny stocks to buy, that my client or my website probably wasn't getting any traffic for. But we're already ranking for them, and they're not that difficult to go after. So that's another trick to just quickly get some new traffic sources. So let me go back to the slides. So those were the first 2 tricks right here. Actually, I probably should see if you guys are still awake and you can see all of this. Got you. Didn't know what the complete list is. It does show you a list of ranked terms, but isn't all inclusive. Cool, yeah, so you can use SEMrush too. I wasn't sure if you could use SEMrush. I only use Ahrefs. Still awake, that's awesome. Yeah, so these are actually tricks that I use all the time with my clients, and they actually work really well, and it makes you look really good if you're doing client work, because you're like, hey, here's some quick wins. You don't have to tell them they're quick wins, and next thing you know, you're boosting their traffic for them. Or better yet, if it's your own website, you're putting money in your pocket. So those are 2 cool tricks that I use, and it's kind of a hybrid between Term Explorer, which I use for keyword scraping. Keyword scraping is great because, once again, when you're building out a niche, if you have an existing website, a lot of times you're just lost in the woods as far as what to go after next. How do I increase traffic for this profitable site I have? And by being able to scrape terms and see what people are searching for, that's a big win. And then, of course, you can use my hack, throw that stuff into MicroSite Masters or your rank tracker, and then you have a list of stuff that you're really close to getting to page 1 for. And it only should take a little optimization to get there. Whether it's link building with that exact match anchor text, whoa, I said that weird, exact match anchor text, or a matter of optimizing the page more for that term. So trick number 3, this isn't actually something that uses software. This is more kind of theoretical stuff that you should be doing on your site to increase your traffic. So trick number 3 is just to get creative. A lot of times we're just looking at the niche really narrow. So we're just looking at penny stocks and just different ways people will search for penny stocks. But a lot of times if you focus on and think about the add-ons that searchers are going to be using in your niche, you can really increase your traffic just by going through your content and adding these add-ons, and also building links with these add-ons in your anchor text. So what do I mean by add-ons? One example would be adjectives, right? So an adjective could be a color, right? So maybe you have a site that's selling notebooks. You should be optimizing for red notebooks, pink notebooks, green notebooks, blue notebooks. Another adjective would be new or used or refurbished. Other adjectives would be quality. So for example, with the penny stocks, we found a term, good penny stocks. Another thing to think about is locations, right? So city, region, country. How can you optimize your pages so that you can get people that are adding location-based add-ons to their searches? So for example, I did some research in the penny stock niche, and penny stocks Canada and penny stocks UK are less competitive than penny stocks US, but still have good traffic. And it's just it could be as simple as creating a new page, drpennystocks.com/Canada, and writing content about Canada and penny stocks in Canada. Another thing is to hack, dates and times on top of searches. So people all the time are searching for penny stocks 2012 or penny stocks April, May, June. And these are things that you should be optimizing in your content and in your backlinking. And usually if you're using a good keyword scraper tool, you're going to find hints and kind of hints that people are searching this way. So when I was looking through the penny stocks stuff on Term Explorer, I saw that people were searching for penny stocks 2011. So probably no one's searching for that anymore, but that gives me insight that people are searching for penny stocks 2012. And then I also went to Google AdWords keyword tool, and I typed in penny stocks March, April, May, June, and there's traffic coming in for all of those. So my pro tip is try to naturally fit these add-ons into your website content. So if you think about it, if you're writing an article on penny stocks, you're not taking away from your rankability for penny stocks if you have an adjective before it. Good, great, best, or you write an article about the worst penny stocks. By doing this, you're not only going to be ranking for that root term you want to, you're going to be getting a lot of long tail and remnant traffic. So really think about how people search in your niche and what add-ons are they using. Because people are getting smarter about searching these days, and they're going to try to narrow down their results. And by adding these adjectives into your link building and into your content, that's a great trick to start getting some extra traffic coming to your sites. So that's all I really have for you guys for existing websites. And now I'm going to hop into some niche research that I've been playing around with for the past couple weeks. The one thing I did, actually you guys noticed that I was using elliptical for a term. How I found that was I just went and I started reverse engineering offers. So I went to commissionjunction.com and I looked through all of their offers. I looked through health and fitness, and I found a company that was successful in CJ with an affiliate program selling health and fitness stuff. And I found that they had a lot of offers for ellipticals. So when I found good offers for ellipticals, and I see that people are paying out for ellipticals, then I know that there's money in this niche and there's traffic in this niche because they're paying out affiliates. So affiliates are getting this traffic somehow, and there's money to be made for me for that. So what I did is I went to Term Explorer and this is how I initially started searching for ellipticals. So I did search for ellipticals only closely related. The nice thing over here is Term Explorer actually also checks for whether an EMD is available. So for example, Proform elliptical reviews, there's a .NET available. Free Motion elliptical, there's a .NET available. There's a .com available for that Nordic track thing that we saw. So that's a really cool way for you guys to kind of do some niche research if you're looking for EMDs. You know, the first step is, if you're trying to find a niche, well, how do you find the niche? And one way is just to go through all of the sites out there, Commission Junction, ClickBank, what have you, find out where the niches are. I'm sure that CJ and ClickBank have trending stuff or new releases or newly popular stuff, and that's probably great because the competition are going to be lower in those terms. So that was one way that I started doing niche research over the past couple of weeks. Another thing that I did was I tried to look around and see what's selling. So Google has shopping trends, and in Google shopping trends I found out that a lot of people were searching for North Face backpack. Obviously people are coming back to school and that's a big hot term right now. But I kind of used my trick number 3, get creative, and I found out that there's traffic for red North Face backpack, blue North Face backpack, green North Face backpack, yellow North Face backpack. And those are all terms that you can pretty easily tackle. The last kind of tip that I have when you're starting off your niche research is look around and find high cost per click or high PPC lists. A lot of times people compile, like, you know, the top PPC terms of 2012. Now these are a lot of times going to be the most competitive niches on a broad scale, but you're going to very often find that there's long tail traffic that you can get an EMD for or start ranking for pretty easily, and you know that there's going to be money there because these are some of the most profitable PPC terms out there. So I looked around, I found Aaron Wall recently launched this, or did this, quit outing, bro. My bad. So yeah, this is Aaron Wall's list of a bunch of different really profitable niches out there. So you have about 100, so there's more than enough for everybody to search and you know, find some good stuff to rank for. So basically what I did is I would just take one of these terms, such as web hosting, and once again I would just toss them into the bulk keyword tool and try to figure out if there's any, you know, juicy terms out there that I can find. So I filtered out results by 1,000 and, you know, CPC by 1 or 2, and you guys can do whatever you want with these. It's really up to you. My problem here is I only search closely related. There's a ton of good niche opportunities here, but there's no EMDs available. But if I didn't search only closely related, I'm sure I would have found a lot of different opportunities. I actually did find a lot of opportunities, just a freebie for you guys, in the cruises category. Actually, let me see if I still have that one. Let's see. Doesn't look like I have it. But I searched through the cruises niche, and I found out that a lot of people do, you know, cruises from certain areas, or cruise deals from certain areas. And a lot of those little micro niches had EMDs available, .coms available, good traffic, and relatively low competition, because there was just absolutely no, you know, link building and very little relevancy going on for those certain terms. So once again, that was kind of a hybrid approach of me using some of my niche research tips and then getting creative and putting add-ons. So cruises from location, you know, cruises from, or cruises for future time period, you know, cruises for 2013. And I can't take all the credit because actually Term Explorer led me onto it because I saw people were searching, you know, cruises from certain areas. So let's see. I think that's actually about it. The last thing is the links and resources. So I already sent you guys the Aaron Wall's PPC list, and actually here is a list of adjectives. These could get you a jump start on figuring out kind of what you may be searching for and using as far as adjectives go. But once again, I just want to give big thanks to Term Explorer. They really helped me out with this webinar, and as you can see, I use them for pretty much the bulk of the webinar because it's really useful when you're trying to find new keywords or trying to find new niches. And I think Dan told me that they have a beta period going on, and it's till Friday. And I think if you get in before Friday, it's only like $8 a month, which is stupid cheap because, I mean, that's as much as a domain costs. And if you can get a domain up and running and making you some money, you're going to make huge, huge returns on $8 a month for this tool. So definitely check them out. MicroSite Masters is great. Once again, awesome for doing little hacks to find new keywords to go after. And then, of course, Ahrefs Keyword Spy is awesome. And Mitchell told me that SEMrush apparently does the same thing. So if you guys use them, you can check them out as well. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please hit me up. No, I don't have a referral link, but it's fine. Yeah, just go sign up. But get in before Friday because I think the price goes up a lot after that. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, I'm going to stick around for the next 30 minutes, and you can ask any SEO questions. I'm by no means an expert on a lot of things, but I think I could give you pretty good advice. If you guys want to hit me up privately for questions, you can hit me up at my email address there. And if you guys just want to shoot out opinions or anything like that on niche research, whatever, feel free. I'm going to stick around for the next 30 minutes and we can chat it up. Oh, actually, here is my PowerPoint presentation in case you guys want to reference it. Let me shoot that over to you guys. So in case you guys want to reference that at all, that should be pretty cool. Let me start exiting out of meetings. Oh, cool. I don't even know this existed. So you guys got nothing? And I know a lot of times it's hard to ask specific questions. How does Term Explorer differ from the Google keyword tool? That's a great question. So, with the Google keyword tool, the biggest difference is just a, I went to Ahrefs, yeah, is just a lack of time. I'm actually not going to go to it. The biggest difference is a time thing, right? You could get the same data by going through Google keyword tool as you could from Term Explorer, but it's going to take you months as opposed to letting Term Explorer just scrape it super fast for you. Because Term Explorer gets all of its data from Google keyword tool, but it's grabbing millions and millions and millions of potential results for you instead of you manually searching, 10 results at a time. And so basically, since it's a bulk scraper and it can take down all of these keywords at once, then all you have to do is really filter through all of the results they give you and make decisions based on it. Well, whether you want to filter down by searches or if you want to filter by CPC. It speeds up the the keyword scraping process incredibly. Because if you were to try to do what I did manually, it would take you at least a week of searching through Google AdWords because you just can't do it on the same scale. So it's a really big convenience thing. Saves you a lot of time, and as Sko said, the EMD thing is really nice too, because a lot of people like to get EMDs and just build kind of microsites around certain terms, and them auto-checking that's really cool. And I think someone asked earlier, EMD equals exact match domain. So there's something in Google's algorithm that heavily favors when your website name has some or ideally all of a keyword search in the website name. And so a well-known strategy that's been done for a while is people will pick up domains for a specific search term, and it's usually stupid easy to rank for that term. Oh, actually, while you guys are watching and while I wait for some other questions, I think you guys will probably get pissed, but get a kick out of this. So when I was searching for that North Face stuff, I searched North Face jacket. Let's see if it does it this time. It didn't do it this time. Let's refresh. Last time I tried to search for this, you actually couldn't see any organic search results because Google stacked its shopping term on top of 3 ads, which was pretty lame. Was it maybe back there? Yeah, there it is. Bam! I have evidence. I'm taking a screenshot. Right there is an example of 0 organic searches above the fold. That's pretty crazy, huh? So long term, if you guys want to hear me rant, I think what this really means is that it's going to be harder and harder to monetize buyer search terms purely through SEO because it's just going to be hard to get exposure. So I think the big transition from SEO is going to be a lot of content that is more informational. If you notice, Google will probably, let's see if I can change it up, info on. Yeah, so that changed up the results a little bit. You can see that there's more organic stuff. So info on is more of like an informational search as opposed to a buyer mentality search. So I think a lot of the transition in SEO is going to be continuing to kind of optimize for and dominate info-based searches, and then having a really good setup site that can convert a buyer from the info phase to the actual buying phase on the site. Well, I don't think anyone has that many questions. Really appreciate y'all coming out and watching this. I had a lot of fun. It was my first webinar that I've done in about 2 months. I think I'm definitely going to get back and start doing these more because I definitely enjoy them. So you're finding EMDs work as well now? Yeah, I mean, actually when I was doing a lot of the research for this, webinar, I found a lot of examples of EMDs doing well. This one would actually be, I think, about 3rd or 4th, and that's a .NET. What other elliptical terms was I searching for? Machine. Yeah, so see right here, buy elliptical machines, and this is a highly, highly competitive term right here, and we can see an EMD getting up there pretty high. So I definitely see EMDs working as well. I didn't mess with EMDs too much like a year ago, so I can't really give you like a comparison as to whether they're better or worse than a year ago, but I definitely think that they're still very, very effective, especially when you're doing kind of this EMD MicroSite strategy. Yeah, I appreciate that tip, curious person. I didn't even think about that. I guess that is one disadvantage about using Justin TV. Google Suggest has tons of keywords, obviously, but is it worthwhile, or do you have any tips for using it for keyword research, since there's a lot of junk in there? I haven't played around with Google Suggest too much, so I'll take a look right now. pretty much I've just been primarily using Term Explorer and kind of looking at competition when I'm doing keyword research for existing sites. As far as niche research, that's when I'm kind of looking around, getting tips and as to where there are successful niches, and then funneling down within those niches and trying to find easy to rank for traffic. Google Suggest. What do you mean by Google Suggest, actually? I don't know if I've actually messed around with it. Ooh, that's actually a great little example that you threw up right there. Who was that? Tidbit is. Yeah, this is a great example of terms that you'd want to try to rank for. So AMD versus NVIDIA is someone probably doing comparison shopping. Yes, I almost forgot. You guys need to read this. This is one of the best threads on Wickedfire. If you haven't already read it, you definitely have to read it. Actually, when I was in college 3 years ago, I did a presentation based off of this stuff. But this guy does a great lift up on the different mentalities that users are in, different modes that they're in when they're searching. This guy's more focusing on the PPC side of things, but it still applies perfectly well to people in SEO. So there's a surfing mode, there's a comparison review mode, and then there's the buying mode. So AMD versus NVIDIA is very much a comparison review mode, and it's actually the step before the buying mode. So if you write good enough content, ideally you'd be able to close sales and close conversions by giving people what they want in the comparison review mode, so that you can transition them into the buying mode. And this is a great example because there's just nobody searching for this at all. So there should be good money in it. Oh, Google Suggest Instant. Okay, yeah, I got you. To be honest, what I would do is I would probably plug those into Google AdWords keyword tool just to see if people are actually doing it. So I'm guessing you're talking like doing something like this, like elliptical machine, and seeing all of these things that people are searching for. Maybe like reviews, consumer reports, 2011 consumer reports. Like that's a suggest. And if we go, yes, I mean that's a good tactic to kind of see different ways that people are searching for things. Sure, I'm gonna log in. I think I'm only advertising site flow stuff on here. I was just wary of exposing client warning. I don't think I am. Yep. Yeah, so if we go to the keyword tool and throw this in, I'm pretty sure it's going to come back with like no results. But yeah, the Google Suggest is a pretty decent way of trying to see different ways people are searching. And by doing that, you should kind of take that and shape your content creation according. Yeah, see, it's not showing anybody searching for it. But let's see, like buy elliptical. Google Instant is unavailable. They're probably watching this and they shut me down. Not cool. Yeah, but like right there, we can see a bunch of different stuff. Apparently, there's a bunch of people in India that are looking for elliptical machines. Maybe that's a good niche for you guys to go into. I gotta see this. Well, once again, here's another example. See, buy elliptical machine Canada, buy elliptical machine Montreal, buy elliptical machine Singapore, buy elliptical machine UK, buy elliptical machine in Hong Kong. That's another way to kind of expand your SEO traffic. Would be if I owned elliptical machine site, one of the big things that I would do would probably add like a location kind of directory segment to my site, where basically I have buyellipticalmachine.com/India, and if it's profitable, maybe slash regions in India. Same with Canada, slash cities in Canada. It all depends on how much people are actually searching that way. But this is just another great example of how you're not going to be able to beat people for buy elliptical machine, but you could very well, dominate the India elliptical machine market, probably by getting a .in, is that India? Like a .india domain, and all of that jazz. Let's see how much traffic is coming for this guy. Nothing. That's not cool. Yeah, so I guess you're right. Like that's an example right there. If the Google suggests, not really suggesting stuff that people are going to be searching very often. Let's see. I guess there's another word for elliptical machines in India. Oh, well, elliptical machine India gets 590 searches. And maybe that's a growing niche that would be great to jump into. Let's see about Canada. Smitty City, I would guess that it's probably a mixture of volume and then them kind of throwing in randomness as well, So maybe only 15 people have searched buy elliptical machine in India, but they want to throw that into the Google suggest to see if more people start trying to search that way, if that makes sense. So they may be kind of popping some smaller ones. That would be my guess at least. Yeah, I don't know if I link this. I'll just link it again just in case. Woo, it's hot down here. Once again, thanks everybody for coming out. If you're not on my newsletter, definitely hop on it so I can spam you guys whenever I do a webinar. I think that's right. Let's see. Yes, sir. That is. Alrighty, well, I don't think I have too many more questions coming in. Once again, thanks a lot, everybody, for coming out. If you came in late or you missed parts of this, or if you want to just watch it again to get a second take, I'll upload it to YouTube tonight, and I'll link it on Black Hat World, Traffic Planet, Wicked Fire. Maybe I'll go over to Waffle. I'll also be mailing it out. So stay tuned for all of that, just in case you want to watch it again. It was a lot of fun. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And